Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Taurus in April 2021. What's going on, Taurus? How are you guys doing? I hope that you are doing well. All right, friends, first and foremost, happy birthday to you early Tauruses that are born at the end of April. And also, of course, happy birthday to those who are born in May. Whenever your day is, Taurus, I hope it's a wonderful day. I hope you're able to get together with those that you know and love, have some quality time, have some fun time with each other. If you are getting together, again, be safe. The pandemic is still lingering around. So again, make sure you're doing things safely, making good choices for you and your loved ones, okay? In general, wherever you are in the world right now, Taurus, I hope you're safe, happy, healthy, secure. Continue to take very good care of yourselves and those that you know and love, even people that you don't know so well, okay? Extend some of that niceness and that goodness to other people, all right? Taurus, announcement for you. Just be on the lookout for your birthday reading. It will come out on the first day of Taurus season, which by my calendar is April 21st, April 22nd, one of those days. I'll clarify when I go look at my notes. I always forget the starts and the stops to the different zodiac seasons. So forgive me if I'm misquoting or if I've got the dates wrong. But somewhere along the 21st, 22nd, or even the 23rd of April, be on the lookout for your birthday reading. I'll put that up here on the channel. And then also we'll get some stuff going for you guys later in May, of course, during the bulk of your season, okay? This, again, is going to be your general reading for April, so we'll go ahead and get started in a second. Anything you want from me, though, it's in the description box already. Timestamp is down there if you want to jump ahead. The link to my Instagram is down there if you want to follow me over there. I do interpret oracle cards a few times during the week. And if you want to order a personal reading with me, that information is down below. If you have questions before you order, just go ahead and email me at the same address that you see listed down there, okay? All right, guys, let's start off your reading. The first half that you got that came shuffled off camera was the King of Cups. Water sign energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces could be dealing with. You don't have to be. Queen of Wands. Fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius could be dealing. Don't have to be. And the World card. Secondary major for Capricorn, also sometimes associated with the fixed sign, so that would be Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Could be dealing with any of those signs or none at all. Take it all with a grain of salt, okay? So for some of you, this is like... I feel like some of you are kind of alchemizing yourselves or alchemizing in a situation. I'm getting this sense of like making things work. So either you're trying to make things work between yourself and another person. You could be either of these characters, or you're trying to be the middleman, mediator between two people, something like that. Or you are alchemizing, integrating different parts of yourself, different issues or perspectives or strengths in your life by yourself, okay? I'm getting that coming from the world, in that in order to move forward, we have to close something out. And in order to close something out, we kind of have to, for lack of a better word or lack of a better phrase at this time, we got to make it pretty. So for some of you, you're kind of like trying to like put like the finishing touches on something so that it ends in an amicable way, in a quote unquote, again, a pretty way and not a nasty way. So I don't know. There's something here about trying to have a positive takeaway here, or trying to have, even if something was a little difficult in your life, a relationship, a situation, a job, other types of relationships with friends and family, or just something that has to do with your own personal development, where it may have been rocky along the way, but it's kind of like no hard feelings or no bitterness. Going forward, there should be no bitterness. Going forward, there should be no regrets. There should be no looking back and being salty about something. Because I'm getting, this world energy is giving me like a look back at, and you don't want to look back and have sour grapes or hatred. Some of you, hatred in your hearts is what this feels like. It could be the ending of a relationship between these two people, Or again, it's like this looking back over your own life and trying to integrate these energies, possibly give yourself forgiveness or give yourself, cut yourself some slack is what this feels like. I'm not exactly sure, where the majority of this energy is, but you know yourself, you know your own life, okay? So discern for yourself and only take what resonates, okay? Leave what doesn't, really tick any boxes here, okay? But this world energy also with the Capricorn, more importantly, less than Capricorn, but the Saturn influence here is speaking to me about karma. So for some of you, this is karmic energy that is being sorted out in your life. What you believe about karma, how you interpret that, that's up to you. But some of you, this is coming into balance, karmically speaking, or trying to make heads or tails out of what has happened to you from a karmic / cosmic perspective. Okay, for some of you, I gotta be honest, this was a disagreement or a discrepancy between you and another person, and it didn't end very well. The King of Cups can be perceived as a soft touch, but they're not. They're incredibly powerful. Whoever this person is, they don't have to be male and they don't have to be a water sign. But this person, the King of Cups, sits on a wealth of emotion, a depth of emotion, and has a lot of strength in that, has a lot of power in that, for good and for bad. So for some, you may have been on an emotional roller coaster with a person, or you may have taken, this could be you. You could have taken someone on an emotional roller coaster over the course of your relationship. Again, family, friend, lover, I don't care what the type is, okay? And that is, I think, I don't know. There's something here about this King of Cups character possibly being viewed as like the innocent one when really maybe they weren't or are not. They're being viewed as a weak person or a weak-willed person, and they're not. Or something about there was a softness to them until there wasn't. Does that make sense? Like if you think about what a big body of water is, like on this planet, we usually deem them to be oceans. Oceans are beautiful in many cases. They're wonderful to swim in. They're lovely to look at when the water is all beautiful and crystal clear. But off of that water or out of the depths of that water, you can get tsunamis, you can get hurricanes coming off of the coast or coming off of the water and heading onto land and destroying things. So the same source point, the ocean, King of Cups, the person that sits there, who has dominion over the ocean. It can be palatial, it can be pleasant, or it can be destructive. So it's possibly for some of you, you were dealing with a person, or again, this could be you, where it was like a night and day effect, where they could be soft and they could be demure or they could be gentle, but they could be, wrathful or vengeful and destructive, either of themselves or of other people or the situation at hand. Okay. So I feel that there could have been a misperception of someone. You never knew the true them. Because, again, with the ocean, what I understand about the ocean, what I think several of you would be able to easily understand about the ocean as an analogy for the King of Cups is not only is there possible destructive weather patterns that exist within or around the ocean, but what is underneath the surface? We don't know. The ocean on this earth is so deep, and there's so many creatures and environments down there that we have not explored as humans that live on this earth and, highly sentient beings or whatever. It's so vast and it's so dark and it's so deep and it's so dense and it's so, number one, we can't even get down there because of the pressure, right? So there's a lot of unknown with this person, much like there's so much unknown about the true depths of any ocean on this earth, or the deepest part of the oceans on this earth, okay? I hope that makes sense. So somebody here, I think, to a certain extent, you knew them, or you were presented, or you presented yourself, and you allowed yourself to be known, to a certain extent. And then out of nowhere, seemingly out of nowhere, I should say, a storm came up, or the weight and the crushing power of the ocean was too much for you or someone else to bear, and there became hell on earth, possibly with this person. And I'm talking as if this has happened. If this has not happened yet, it might be upcoming for you. This could be something that happened last year, 10 years ago, or it could be, 5 years off. I don't know. So that's one character. Queen of Wands. And again, that could be a part of yourself. Some of you, this is a story that's all about you. So that's one side of you, or that's one side of the story. Okay, take your pick. The other side of the story is the Queen of Wands. Lustrous or illustrious, whatever that word is coming through. Lustrous, illustrious, something like that. Alluring, sexy, vivacious. Doesn't have to be because it's a woman on the card, or it's in the wording of queen is aligned with femaleness. We could be talking about a male, and this could have been a female. The gender doesn't matter, but there's something about desire here, and it's plain on its face. Whoever this person is, they're very bold, they're very impassioned, they're very obvious. There isn't a lot of guesswork with the Queen of Wands. Whoever it is, if it's one side of you, then this is this is some other aspect of you that's kind of a mismatch, I gotta be honest, with the King of Cups. Because this person wants it now, wants it deep, wants it to be explosive, wants it to be fun, wants it to be exciting, full of laughter, full of, just all of these things. And I did use the word roller coaster before, so okay, maybe I was a little wrong with saying a mismatch, because the emotional roller coaster, or the kind of, you never know where you're standing, that kind of existed with the King of Cups, might be appealing to the Queen of Cups energy, or Queen of Wands energy, right? And vice versa. So there is sort of like this, maybe this is like opposites attract. Is that what this is? For some of you, this was a case of opposites attract in friendship, lover, family member, whatever it is, where two people who maybe shouldn't get along do get along, where two people who maybe shouldn't be dating are dating, got married, had a family, whatever. I don't know. But this Queen of Wands, again, as the character, on their face, very quote unquote honest, possibly too honest. I gotta be honest. So much honesty here. This person maybe says things and doesn't really think about the consequences of what they say or do. And doesn't really apologize. I gotta be honest, this Queen of Wands energy doesn't feel super apologetic. Take me as I am, or don't take me at all. Don't waste my time. You knew what this was about. You knew how I was. You know how I am. That's always the excuse. Well, this is how I am. Deal with it. And that's volatile energy. On both sides, I'm feeling like this volatile energy, where this one doesn't make excuses for what is being expressed, and this one doesn't apologize or even recognize the destruction that they cause, or the destruction that comes with them when they get into those tumultuous headspaces, or that tumultuous emotional space. Yes? So if this was a couple, again, friends, family, lovers, otherwise, it does not matter the type of connection, whatever pairing this was, like hot and cold, night and day, cats and dogs, like at some point it's complementary, in some points it's very much not complementary, it's very adversarial. So this could be frenemies even. It doesn't even have to be someone that you like. It could be someone that you have to deal with because of circumstances. Regardless of what's happening here, Taurus, World card to me, again, is saying we want to put an ending to this. We want to draw a line in the sand, or draw a line under this and move on and go forward. But we also don't want to look at what this was with bitterness, with resentment, with cantankerous feelings. I feel possibly for some of you, the lesson here is to be, quote unquote, above all that. I don't know what that means, but that's the flippant, blasé way that it's come across. Just be above that. I don't know if that's even possible in the situation, because I don't know the full history between these two people. And again, for some of you, this is about yourself. So for some of you, you have great emotional depths, but your emotions might get the best of you sometimes, and they might overrule you, or you might feel like, oh, I can't control what I'm saying, or I can't control how I feel. And, you might have, long bouts of depression, and like, that's just how you're living, and you don't know how to reconcile that. And then you might have an unapologetic side of you that's super fun and passionate, and you want to live your best life and do all that fun stuff without any regard for other people, or without any trouble, You know, the Queen of Wands doesn't want trouble, will cause trouble, but doesn't want trouble brought to their doorstep. So this, I don't know. Whew, I don't know. Hopefully you got something out of that. We're going to expand on this message now. So let's get more detail in here for Taurus. What else is happening with this message? Show me more for Taurus. Show me more, please. No. Yes. One more for Taurus, please. Thank you. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy, Ace of Cups. So, first card out was the Eight of Pentacles, High Priestess, and then the Tower. Eight of Pentacles could be a work situation, could be something about your own sense of expression or your own sense of value, self-worth, self-esteem, something like that. High Priestess, secondary major for Cancer, also sometimes associated with Pisces, could be dealing with either of those signs, or you don't have to be. And then the Tower, secondary major for, oh God, don't blank, Aries, thank you, also sometimes associated with Scorpio. Okay. So again, some of you, this is a work situation or something that a project that you're working on. Maybe you and a partner that you've, done something creatively with is coming to an end, and maybe, you and them getting on the same page was like, fighting tooth and nail for your vision, and they were fighting for tooth and nail for their vision. And it's just, it may have been really, really caustic, really, really agitating to work alongside this person. And, or you have significant financial ties with this person, or they are your boss or you're their boss, and there's like this sort of impenetrable, well, it's not impenetrable because most employment is at will, or you or they could leave at any time, but there is sort of like this feeling stuck with Eight of Pentacles, because Eight of Pentacles also talks about apprenticeship. It talks about putting in a full day's work or a full effort, the old college try. So there is possibly contractual obligations, which can also link back to the karmic tie that we have here in the World card. So you might have a karmic tie with this person on a soul level. You might have a karmic tie with this person in terms of past life karma that needs to be sorted out in this life because it hasn't gone, or it has gone unfulfilled in previous lives. And there could be, again, this like effort and energy and time and money spent to get this ironed out. Okay. Now that is interesting because some of you are coming into high awareness, whether you're male or female. I feel some of you are coming into high spiritual awareness about this person, about the situation, about yourself, any or all of the above, whatever. But there is a high emphasis on the feminine because it falls underneath the Queen of Wands there. So there's this high emphasis on the feminine dynamic, whether or not you are resonating with the feminine dynamic or you see it in the other person. It's in both of you. Everybody carries masculine and feminine, right? So there is sort of like this knowing before you know. And that might be the whole looking back and not being bitter, because the High Priestess in tarot knows everything and has no feelings about it. Even though it's an energy that's aligned with femininity and intuition, what we see, that veil between the physical world and the spiritual world, or the cosmic world and all that kind of stuff, which again is traditionally aligned with feminine aspects. It still is very much unfeeling. Like in the long and the short of it with the High Priestess is, what will be, how it will be, is exactly how it's supposed to be. And just accepting that, having peace with that. The High Priestess, to me, is sort of like a don't sweat it energy. Even though there's plenty of shit here to sweat about. There's plenty of stuff here to have gripes about, or to have emotional reactions to, or impassioned reactions to. There's plenty here to stir you into feeling and thinking and reflecting and having some type of response. But the High Priestess is giving me this sense of like releasing into, or releasing, releasing any type of emotional attachment, perhaps. Releasing any type of, well, I knew, or I told you so, or any type of, in your face energy, like I knew from the start he or she was trouble, or I knew when they said this, it was going to lead to this, and blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, you knew, or now you know, or retroactively you can see and put the pieces together. So what? Like there's sort of like this release that attachment, release that desire to be vindicated, release that desire to feel validated. Something like that is here. And it's mostly directed towards the feminine person, or the person who carries the higher feminine dynamic between the pair at this time, or it is for both of you to recognize in your feminine self, feminine aspects within yourselves. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. So some of you also may have consulted or be in consultation now with a psychic or somebody who is a medium or works in the esoteric arts. Not necessarily me, but anybody. So it could be somebody who does Reiki. It could be somebody who is a psychic medium. It could be somebody who reads runes, who does scrying and all that stuff, whatever. I don't know who, or you're doing this work yourself, because the Queen of Wands is a go-getter, and it does sit next to the Eight of Pentacles, which is about apprenticeship, and it is about learning and studying and being an active participant, okay? So for some of you, you predicted this situation for yourself, or you're getting insight into this situation through your own mediumship, through your own working with the esoteric arts. Regardless, I would say let go of the I told you so's, or the I knew it would end up this way, and really concentrate on the higher perspective. Okay? What that means to you, if that means talking to your angels, talking to your guides, if that means, doing some inner child work, if that means doing some work on your past life healing, possibly generational, whatever you explore, whatever you perceive, whatever you think is going to get you to the other side and allow further peace in your life. I think that's the jam. I think that's what is crucial here. Okay. Tower. I think this is a pivotal moment. I don't think the Tower for most of you is upcoming. I think it has happened, or you're in the midst of it now. And again, with the World card, I think you at some point, Taurus, or whoever you're dealing with, is going to be able to kind of look back in a retroactive space, or from a retroactive place, I should say, and realize, oh, that was a growth point. The Tower is a growth point disguised as chaos, disguised as upheaval, disguised as destruction, or frustration, or unfortunate circumstances. And I'm not to say they're not, and you're not going to feel those ways. Yes, you will. But the kernel, the central part of a tower it's a growth point. It's going to push you or push someone else or help someone along, and it allows them to grow from that, whether they realize it today, tomorrow, 15 years from now, whatever, who, or you or them, whoever. There will be this retroactive, inside of that chaos that I was experiencing, inside of that crap that I was dealing with, inside of everything that person did or said to me, there was some lesson, karmically speaking, that helped me grow. And in some of your cases, gotta be very honest, because it is the Tower card, you or someone you're dealing with, or both of you, are kind of gonna get your asses handed to you. And again, I feel for many of you, this is already like transpiring, so I'm not telling you much of anything that you don't know. But that's it's the ability to recognize, I had a terrible experience with this person in this situation. I wasn't my best. They weren't their best, whatever. And it's just accepting that. Accepting that at that point, I wasn't ready to be who I am today, who I'm supposed to be in the future. And that's okay. You don't expect someone in the 4th grade to be a trigonometry genius, correct? They have to go through the paces. They have to graduate and learn and develop to become good at a certain subject in school. Again, this is just an analogy. So why would it be that in a business relationship, let's say, this was the first time you went into and invested your own money, your own time, your own energy into something with a partner? First time ever. Whether you are educated in the field or experienced in the field or not. And maybe you learned some things or you experienced some things that were not good. Tower. That were tough for you to deal with. World card. There is growth in that. Mistakes have been made and now you can grow from those mistakes. There were successes that were made and you can grow from the successes too. You can replicate the successes if you want. You can also replicate and repeat the mistakes if you choose. But I think the higher perspective is the key here. For you, for them, for everybody involved. But again, the tower is perceived as a chaotic, terrible thing. And it might be. I'm not saying you can't perceive it that way and you can't relate to it that way. But the higher mind doesn't care about that. Where's the lesson in what we suffered? That's the key point here, okay? Overall energy, Ace of Cups. And there you are right behind it, Hierophant energy, that's you. So there is something about me pointing that out. You are relatively close to something. You're in proximity to something. I don't know what that means, but that might resonate with some of you. Now, Ace of Cups has your overall energy. For some of you, this is a brand new start in love, not with this person most likely, but just in opening your heart. Maybe some of you, King and Queen, are mature energies. So for some of you, you had a long-standing mature relationship with a person that has come to an end. Friend, family, lover, I don't care what type. And it could have been several years you were dedicated with this person. Several years you were committed to them. Several years you guys were in business together. Several years that you spent living together, whatever. And now it's over. And at some point in that ending, which is not, an overnight thing, most people who are together for decades or together for substantial amounts of time, they don't usually walk away in one day and that's the end of the relationship and that's the end of how we felt. No, those feelings are residual and they stay around for weeks, months, years. Yes. So at some point though, that hardens the heart, no matter how long the ending takes or how long it is to wrap things up. Again, being able to look back retrospectively and not be bitter about it takes some time, yes? So this Ace of Cups, I think, is indicating that at some point in the future, I don't know how soon, you will open up again. Or you want to. Taurus, ruled by Venus, you don't want to be without love and affection and kindness and connection in your life. Like, I don't know many Tauruses that are misery guts, that hate life or hate people or just don't want to have substantial, loving relationships in their lives. I don't know many Tauruses who walk that path. And so eventually I think you or someone else, the heart will soften that barrier, that residual build up, like what do you call that? Like rust is going to dissipate. It's going to go away. And then you might find yourself wanting to offer to new people, make new friends, make new love relationships, open yourself up to family members. Maybe this is a family member and you having to walk away, and maybe that's bad blood between some of your relatives, and then some of your relatives, they understand where you're coming from, and maybe, eventually you're able to mend bridges with folks. Maybe. But that Ace of Cups feels I shouldn't say way in the future, but definitely beyond April 2021 is what that feels like, okay? I'm going to get you an oracle card for your advice, and then we're going to wrap this up. So what is the oracle deck we're going to use for Taurus today? Show me. Yeah, Goddess Guidance we're going to use. So what is the oracle advice for Taurus? Show me. Oracle advice for Taurus. Show me. Let's see. Advice for Taurus in this situation. Show me. Lakshmi. Bright future. Stop worrying. Everything will be fine. Stop worrying. Everything is going to be fine. Excuse me. Everything is going to be fine. I can't with this focus. I really can't. It's the worst right now. There you go. All right. Stop worrying, everything is going to be fine. I mean, kind of on its face, everything is going to be fine. Some of you, you might want to do some work with your chakras, do some meditation, do some guided meditation. I don't think that Lakshmi has anything to do with it, but for some of you, since I put it down on top of the High Priestess, you might want to talk about your Akashic records, because again, that might have something to do with your karmic past and, you know, just this existence beyond the 3D is how I'm going to phrase it. I feel also some of you might relate to this idea of let go, let God. You know, again, releasing any type of expectations, releasing any type of bitterness or resentment, releasing any type of pain and frustration or guilt, you know, whatever. Try your best to make peace with what has been so that you can open up to what needs to come in, what will be. Yes? Stop worrying. Everything is going to be fine. Yeah, I think some of you are still possibly just reeling over or feeling disappointed in what has left. World card. But again, the world card is a simultaneous ending and a beginning. So, you know, what is that saying? When one door closes, another door opens, or basically, you know. So that's what I'm feeling here for you guys, okay? So don't dwell too much on this, Taurus, okay? Taurus, that is your reading for April 2021. If you like this reading, like buttons down below. Hit that for me. Let me know how this resonated. Feel free to leave a comment. And of course, subscribe to the channel. If you have not subscribed before, make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see when I do uploads to the channel. Taurus, I'll be back soon with your mid-April readings as well as your birthday reading. You have that stuff to look forward to. And if you want to get at me in the meantime for a personal, you can check the description box below to see how to order, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Take care.